Hello beautiful folks of YouTube, thank you for joining me here. And here I am in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I've been wanting to come to Wisconsin for many years, and it's the 9th of April. It's freezing cold. I just arrived, I just got off the plane, and I'm looking for something to eat. I've had quite a bit to drink because American Airlines were feeding me well with alcohol. Also, the airport did a fair good job. I had this really lovely bartender and a couple of beers, and then on the plane a Jack Daniels and Coke, a beer as well. Here's where the concert is tomorrow, the rave, the Eagles Club, where the Menzingers are playing, and my hotel is right there. So I'm staying directly across the street from where the concert is, which is kind of helpful, but the only problem with that is that it means that I have to walk a long way on Saturday morning when I want to go down to the edge of Lake Michigan and to the Milwaukee Art Museum. But I'm sure I will do that and it will be fine. But my initial impression of where I am is interesting. Certainly it's not Dallas. Well, here I am on my first morning in Milwaukee, and my first impression is that it's very industrial. It reminds me very much of England, old England, and the town that I am from in particular, Wigan, in the northwest, particularly back in the 70s and 80s and before that, when it was a very industrial town. And this is very industrial looking. One of the things about a place like this is that you can usually find in America really amazing diners, and I am actually on my way to a little diner called Miss Katie's Diner, and we'll see. It could be a disaster, it could be wonderful. So far the people that I've seen around are not exactly the kind of people I'm used to seeing walking around in Dallas. I'm guessing that this particular area, and I'm probably about 2.5 miles in from Lake Michigan. I'm going to venture out there tomorrow, maybe later today, but I'm not 100% certain yet, and I'm sure it'll be quite different there. But this is really the local part of Milwaukee. Kugel beer. And then here next door is the one and only Miss Katie's Diner. And I think even that door that I just walked past of the beer is also part of the diner, but I'm going to be civilized. And it really is a cool little diner. Well, the diner was really a great experience. You know, it's that classic American diner that you see in movies and on television, and just so homely and home-cooked food. You can tell the people are all locals, they all live locally, drift in, they all know each other. The owner of the place knows everyone and chats to everyone. And just random things like you're sitting there eating your breakfast and all of a sudden there's water gushing down beside you outside. And they say, oh, don't worry, we're cleaning the roof. And the accents, I didn't realize that Milwaukee had this accent, but it's quite strong. And when I ordered a platter, they didn't understand me because of course I was saying platter instead of platter. But yeah, the accent is really strong here, and it just reminds me so much of Britain, England. I walked into a little corner store to buy some water, and the guy was sitting in there smoking a cigarette, which is kind of unusual to see in 2026. I can't remember, in fact, in this century, if I've ever walked into a little corner store and the proprietor is smoking a cigarette inside. Here I am at the Marquette University, and I've come down here because there's a little art museum somewhere around the back. And one thing to let you know, that if you ever come to Milwaukee and you want to use a little Lime scooter to get downtown and go to Lake Michigan and whatever, as I just did, I purchased a 3-day pass for the Lime scooter. And I was riding it, I got about a kilometer down the street and it went boom, 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 stopped. So I checked the app and it said no go zone. And basically the whole way from where I am here, the Marquette University, down to Lake Michigan is a no-go zone for Lime scooters. So basically I wasted my money buying the pass. This is the Haggerty Museum of Art, which is just a tiny little art gallery here at the university, and really interesting. It actually had this section on the second floor about the attack on liberty, and showing it from on one wall you have attack on liberty America, and on the other wall you have attack on liberty Britain, and it shows the propagandist material from both sides. Of course, we're talking about the 1700s, but it's interesting to see how the rebellions and the words used and the forming of the Constitution and so on were opposed to the monarchy of England that was, of course, the British Empire, and how relevant they are today, and how ironic it is that today that threat actually comes from the American side, the very side that put together the Constitution based on this attack, and now has the very same thing happening from within, from a president who thinks he's the king. This is the public library in downtown Wisconsin. Downtown Milwaukee, should I say, not Wisconsin. Starting to get some blue sky now as I'm here on the river, so kind of halfway between my hotel and Lake Michigan. I'm walking towards Lake Michigan, and this is part of the Milwaukee Riverwalk. I'm on at the Riverwalk patio. So here I am, finally standing with, you can see Lake Michigan here behind me, and of course I am on the west side of Lake Michigan in Wisconsin. On the east side of Lake Michigan, of course, is Michigan. South of me on the lake is Chicago, and here behind me, this incredible looking building is the Milwaukee Art Museum.
closing my eyes to find your familiar face.
So it appears that for those of you out there who are beer lovers, I have found heaven in Milwaukee, because behind me over there is Water Street Brewery, and here is the Milwaukee Brewery, but it doesn't look like it's open, but maybe there's just an entrance that I have not spotted yet.
Work ethic maintains its subconscious edge as old worry maintains your consciousness. There's a loser in my house and I'm pumping on a